arm,
Those huge,
just like you
right?
said, man,
The
you're
fact
gonna
that the factories
be
were
frustrated, you're gonna be,
Because it left the South
man,
Carolina
this
dry,
boy did
right?
this
They
to
had
your
no way to
family.
process their cotton.
Absolutely, man, because just like you said, dive in, that's awesome. So they're up on the board if you need.
Oh, is that block schedule?
No, not block schedule. Notice the person without the arm. What did you? Which one? This one or this one? I'm looking at your number one. You said you noticed the guy without the arm. What'd you think about it? Kind of gross.
Be able to harvest those anymore. Do you have something that you thought would help her out?
I said it would mean that there was more women left alone with the children, because if all the men are left, then it's the women and the children who have to do who have to do the work around the house. Yeah.
And what did we learn about the factories when we learned about who was working in the factories?
It was young women, because they were wasn't it because they could do it right more than a man would do, because they would follow what a man would do, but a man might not do what other man might do.
That's one aspect.
Superior.
Yeah, great job. And then also it connects to this, right? So we have more women working and having to do these jobs and leave the home to take care of things that men were taking care of before. Okay, and you want to really think about like the hole it would have left us in after. Does that help a little bit? Okay. What do you think?
I think they shouldn't, because parents would be devastated, and it's kind of like a personal thing.
Okay. So even though this shows the impact of the war, we don't necessarily want to take these pictures because of how damaging they'd be to family members.
This is the actual battlefield.
Is that what you're thinking too, Elias?
It looks like him. His face is small.
Not the same thing. Like, no, because
And then this guy, this is not like an actual photograph because it's kind of graphic. So what they did was they drew it out.
Okay, so what about now?
So
Like, we wouldn't have these pictures if they hadn't been taken back then. So should we take them and keep them private, or should they just not be taken at all?
It should be kept private with historians.
Okay, so yeah, these actually went into
He got
newspapers.
shot.
And the reporting system was really slow, so sometimes, like, could you imagine if that's how you found out that one of your family members passed away? Pretty unfortunate, huh?
Wait, I had a question. Did everybody take these pictures, or was
No.
it just this guy?
There are multiple pictures like this if you look up. Photography wasn't as big, so we don't have as many. But it was voluntary to take them. Sometimes they took them for medical records, but ones like this were actually taken for this purpose, to show the impact of the war. Because you can tell people a bunch of people are dying, but it's not really till you see it visually, right, that it has a big impact on you. Good job. Thank you.
Yeah, that disease, that bacteria.
Could have less supplies. Good. And what did you put for number 3 then? You still working on it?
Actually, it's a really nice answer. You kind of answered it like you're saying that it's going to impact people.
Great job, Clay. What do you think of the video?
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, like I was telling Kaleo, like, what if Grandma saw this picture in the newspaper? You know, what's Grandma going to think about it? Because before, no one saw what it looked like.
Did you find it more or less interesting? Or about the same? Okay.
Yeah, but
What's the best thing you learned from the video?
it's sad that people are dying, absolutely.
Sure, okay. So write both those down and then use one more piece of evidence.
Hey, how many?
Just that. Because we want that why part. Most important part. Well, you have to first put that they should not, right? Because that was what you decided. And then you have to say why they should not have been taken.
Because, right? So if
You can always come up with an in-between answer too. Like maybe they should have been taken, but they shouldn't have been in newspapers so family members can see them. Okay? No wrong answer. Keep up the hard work. A lot of people, yeah. And all those people are Americans because we were fighting each other.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What did you put for number 2?
They would have way too little
makes
family.
sense. So for you, the
All of
biggest-
those men had
biggest
been working
problem-
before. They're going to have no people to do those jobs anymore. So who has to do the jobs now?
That's the problem with war, though, yeah?
Like,
I don't know how you would do something.
didn't have jobs.
The people who didn't have jobs. Do you remember learning about the factories in our last one where we talked about who worked in factories? Who worked in those factories?
And that's what I want.
The people who fought.
And not just for
The
this.
people who fought in the wars before.
Anything that
But what about, do you remember those rules, those plantation rules and those factory rules? Who were those for?
I don't remember those.
Do you remember that we talked about that it was young girls who were working in those factories? So
Yeah,
because,
like children.
yeah, so because they didn't have young males to be doing these jobs, they were sending out who to do them?
Children.
Children, women, right? Okay. Keep up the hard work. You guys are doing
Why like sacrifice all their like stuff to win the war?
Yeah, so they were willing to sacrifice everything basically to win. What kind of impact would that amount of destruction have on the opposing side?
Lost all family and
Yeah, do you think you can grow on that land again after he torches it? And we know a lot about people, and mostly their morale is the biggest thing, right? So what's that going to do to their morale?
what is that?
Like their outlook on life.
Okay, that being our
Are they
belt,
gonna
go
be
ahead and
happy
finish up
that
what
their
you're
land
working
got
on and
destroyed?
head back to your desk. You're gonna need your notebook for this one.
How will that impact the war if everyone's feeling
They're gonna
downtrodden?
be like vulnerable.